सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ भद्रं कर्णेभिः शृणुयाम देवाः भद्रं पश्येमाक्षभिर्यजत्राः स्थिरैरङ्गैस्तुष्टुवागुंसस्तनूभिः व्यशेम देवहितं यदायुः। स्वस्ति न इन्द्रो वृद्धश्रवाः स्वस्ति नः पूषा विश्ववेदाः स्वस्ति नस्तार्क्ष्यो अरिष्टनेमिः स्वस्ति नो बृहस्पतिर्दधातु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। यः सर्वज्ञः सर्ववित् यस्यैष महिमा भुवि दिव्ये ब्रह्मपुरे ह्येषः व्योमन्यात्मा प्रतिष्ठितः। यः सर्वज्ञः सर्ववित्, the Lord, with these adjectives like omniscient, omnipotent, etc., can only apply to Brahman with upadhi of Maya. By itself, Brahman is devoid of every attribute. And therefore, we cannot even call it. What something is remaining here. How happy this fellow is, yeah. Good, good, good.
We see Rama and Hanuman.
Yeah, amazing. So, once there was a question of sharing the serving of Rama. Everybody grudged Hanuman, I don't know, he was so dear to Lord Rama, and so everybody, so I will do this, I will do that, I will do this. All attendants, in fact, claimed all seva. Nothing remained for Lord Rama. So it is he'll be away from, if he has nothing to serve, it is Hanuman will be away from Rama. So Hanumanji says, I will do one seva. When Lord Rama feels like yawning, I'll do this. This is what they do. Yawning, this is what they do. So now you don't know when he will yawn. So he's always there, watching him, and ready. So this is how the sevaks are. Yes, sarvajnah, sarvavik, one sarvam janati, one who knows everything in general, like this is clay, and everything in particular, like the pot, and every detail and aspect about pot, including how many grains of clay are involved here, every possible knowledge about this also Ishvara has. Naturally, because he has created the whole universe, and the creator must have the knowledge of what he is going to create. Meaning that the reason why this is said is that he knows what is in and out, as I said in the morning also, that he knows what is going on in our own minds also, and therefore nothing can be hidden from him. Like a teacher once told his students, that Bhagavan is everywhere. One day then he distributed some bananas to children. He says, go to a place and eat where nobody is watching you. So one by one all children came back. They went to a place where nobody was watching them, ate the banana and came back. This child came back with banana. And so teacher, what happened? Didn't you find a place where nobody is watching you? He says, no, you see Ishvara is everywhere. So he's watching. So how can I, there is no place where he's not watching, so I could not find a place. Yes, sarvajnah, sarvavik, he is everywhere and he is everything. The point is, as we have been discussing also in the evening, that and a lot of discussion is there about the creation, that this whole creation is projection of Ishvara. And naturally, therefore, he knows. This is to describe the glories of the Lord. So there is yasya isha mahima bhavi. And whose mahima, whose glory is very evident bhavi in the earth, in the universe. So this morning I was reading parts of the Bhashya of Shankaracharya. Mahima, vibhutihi, the glory. Koso mahima. What's the glory of the Lord? Yasya me dhyava prasivyau shasane vidhute tishthatah. In whose rule, in whose command, the earth and the heaven are held in their respective places. This we said in the morning. Surya chandramasau yasya sasane alada chakravat ajasraha brahmataha. And in whose rule the sun and the moon also, like the two ends of a burning, a stick, they are all the time shining and revolving and rotating as they are ordained to do. Meaning sun and moon also are, their shining, their movement, everything is as regulated. Yasya shasane saritah sagarascha. Rivers are also flowing in the direction in which they are set. Some go from east to west, and some rarely from west to east and north to south. Even the oceans also do not ever, they ever transcend their boundaries or the limits to which they are set. And so also the entire universe, consisting of the moving and non-moving, everything is under whose control. So this is evident that everything is controlled, or everything is functioning according to the way they have been set to function. So there is a niyanta, there is a ruler, there is a controller, and here therefore, so this is the mahima, this is the glory, that everything is functioning according to the rule of the Lord. Even kartara karmani, when you perform an action, the karma phala, the result also comes in keeping with the action. And whoever performs the action becomes the recipient of the result of the action. Now can you imagine there are countless people, billions of human beings, and somebody has to keep an account of every action that every person is doing, because I am accountable for what I do. I must experience the result of the action that I have performed. Somebody must keep track of everything. Not only actions performed at the level of body, level of speech, level of mind. At 3 levels we perform various actions. Along with external action goes also our attitudes, intentions also. So imagine what kind of a universal computer it must be that keeps track of every mind and every body and every individual, every human being. It is true that the creatures other than human beings do not have the sense of doership, so they don't perform action in the sense that we do, meaning that other creatures are not accountable for what they do, because they don't have the doership, sense of doership, kartritvam. They don't have free will, and so they just follow their instinct. But all the human beings are accountable for what they do, and that the karma phala must be in keeping with the karma that is performed. That must be all. Somebody must make sure that this is what happens. Yasyesha mahima bhuvi, of this Lord who is omniscient, omnipotent, all-knowing, all-powerful, the Niyanta, the ruler of the universe. So this is a way of meditating also upon Ishvara. While taking walks in the nature, you can see how all the forces of nature, all manifestations of nature are all following a certain rule. Yet there is a harmony. There is no disorder anywhere in the universe other than what human being creates. Other than that, everything is in order. If there's a disorder, we can be sure that somewhere the human being has something to contribute. Why is it so? Only human being is capable of creating disorder, because he has been given free will. And that is called freedom, which can be abused. And therefore, human being can abuse the free will. Whenever he becomes controlled by raga-dveshas, attachment, aversions, then those impulses will make him do something which is a violent action. Other than that, everything is in order. All disorder in the universe is created by human being. In course of time, it will all come around. Meaning that it will take a long time. Ishvara is not very quick. He is slow. And so, today or tomorrow, the things will settle down. What I do today, I will be accountable for it sometime or the later. Or what a whole community does, what a whole country does, etc., will also, in course of time, will yield its appropriate result. But this we can be sure of, that there is the fairness in the universe. What the law of karma means is the law of fairness. That there is no unfairness, that one does something and is deprived of the benefit of what he did, or he's let go of the punishment that he should get. Everything is in order, including karma and karma phala. Esha sarvajñah evam mahima devah. So this Lord is having this glories, the omniscient Lord has these glories. Second line says, Divye Brahmapare Hyesha Vyomni Atma Pratishtitah. Is Atma or Paramatma, this omniscient, omnipotent Lord, where do you find him? Where does he dwell? Divye in the divine. Divine means in self-shining. Brahmapure, in the city of Brahman. Brahmapuri means city. Brahmapure, in the city of Brahman. But Divye Brahmapure, in the luminous city of Brahman, this Brahman or Atma shines, means that is a place which is assigned to Brahman also. Like the king's rule prevails all over the kingdom, but then the king has its own dwelling place. So also the rule of Brahman is in the whole universe. But there is a place, dwelling place. And what is that? That is the very heart is said to be the dwelling place. Swami, that doesn't sound right. On one hand you say that he is all pervasive, on the other hand you say that he dwells in the heart, sort of. Because where do you find a person where his address is? So where do you find Brahman? In the heart. In the sense that that is a place for one to know the true nature of self, because heart means antahkaranam, that means our mind, and particularly the mind which enjoys purity or sattvikta. Constantly, of course, Brahman shines as I, it reveals itself. But then, where he can be known or where it can be known is in the pure mind. So, Satyam Jnanamanta Yo Veda Nihitam Guhayam Parame Vyoman. Similar expression is there in the Taittiriya Upanishad. One who knows Parame Vyoman in supreme space. Indeed, so heart is imagined. Yes, physical heart is imagined like it's the lotus-shaped little lump of flesh. In there it is said that there is space of the size of a thumb. In that space is a seat of antahkaranam of the mind. In that mind, Brahman reflects, gets manifest, and therefore there is said to be the place where Brahman is. It is like the sun reflecting in a pool of water. So you may say that sun is there in the water. So also Brahman, the consciousness, as though gets reflected, and therefore it becomes manifest in the heart, and that is where it is to be known. Although a heart, what is meant is not just the physical heart. Only you start there, you focus your attention on the heart, then in the thumb-like space in the heart, the antahkaranam that is in that space, and the consciousness that reflects in that. So this is how ultimately the heart goes away from a consciousness. But this shows us the method of focusing our attention. Vyomni atma pratisthitaha pratishtha eva upalabhyate, as though he is obtaining there. That is how it is known or it is seen. So in a secondary sense, it is said that Brahman's dwelling place is the space in the heart, the divine or the luminous space in the heart. Then says the next mantra, Manomaya prana sharira neta pratisthito ne hrudayam sannidhaya tad vijnanena paripashyanti dhiraha anandarupam amrutam yad vibhati. Now further description of Atma in the manner that we can understand and have the knowledge of Atma, realize Atma or know the self. Says Manomaya. Manomaya, that which is limited by mind, conditioned by the mind. Mind is the upadhi or the limiting adjunct of Brahman or Atma. Why is it so? Manu upadhitvat. Because where does consciousness shine? Consciousness illumines every thought or vritti. In our mind, various thoughts come, one after the other. A thought is called vritti. And we know what thought is there in our mind. That is because the thought is illumined. And what illumines the thought? It is the consciousness that illumines the thought. And therefore a thought becomes the gateway for knowing that which illumines the thought. Thought is not Brahman. Thought is not consciousness, but the fact that the thought is known, when the thought shines, it shines in the light. And light of consciousness. For example, here is a flower, and we all see this flower. Now, when you see this flower, there is something else also that you are aware of, although we may not make a note of that. But when can you see the flower? When the flower is, because you've heard this number of times in the past, So, but I understand, I appreciate. So, the flower is only when it is illumined by this light. We focus attention on flower, but not upon the light that illumines the flower. It is not the flower, but that because of which the flower shines. So that's what cl10-Upanishad says, that it is not the mind, but that because of it the mind thinks. It is not the speech, that is because the speech speaks. Yad manasa namanute yena ahur manomatam Yad vacha anabhyutitam yena vaga abhyudyate. cl10-Upanishad describes Shrotrasya Shrotram Manasaha Manaha Vachoho Vacham. It is Shrotrasya Shrotam, the ear of the ear. Vachoho Vacham, speech of the speech. Manasaha Manaha, the mind of the mind. Do you mean that behind ear there is another ear? Behind the eye there are some other eyes? No. The idea is that because of which the ears are able to hear, that because of which the eyes are able to see, that is because of which the speech is able to speak. And therefore now shift your attention not on what you see, but that because of which you see. Not what you speak, but that because of what you speak. So thus our attention is slowly asked to be shifted. Usually we are preoccupied with what we see. Upanishad says that no, not only what you see, but yena chakshumshi pashyati. Yat chakshushana pashyati, yena chakshumshi pashyati. That which one does not see with eyes, but that because of which the eyes see. That which does not, one cannot utter by speech, that because of which the speech utters. So that is what is meant by the one that is behind. So, manomaya prana sharira neta. So one that is identified with the mind, because of the mind shines, sense organs shine, they all perform their functions. Prana sharira neta. That's an interesting description. Prana sharira neta. Neta is carrier. Prana, the vital forces and the body. Atma is the carrier of prana and sharira. That's an interesting description. So I was wondering what will the Bhashyakara say. Pranascha shariram cha prana shariram. So prana sharira neta. Neta means that which is the carrier or the leader of prana, the vital air and body. So what is that? Says Sthul Shariraj Sharirantaram Prati, that which takes the prana from one body to their prana or Sukshma Sharira from one body to the other. As we say, at the time of death, what happens is that the prana, the subtle body, separates from the gross body, and then it is taken to another embodiment according to karma. Who does that? What? Because understand that even Sukshma Sharira also is insentient. Even though gross body may be insentient, even subtle body, mind also is insentient. Therefore, that the mind functions, or that mind and prana, they are all taken from one embodiment to another. Who is the carrier or the leader of that? Says he's the one, the consciousness is the one that carries or takes or leads this prana from one body to the other. Or you can say that because of which the prana functions, that which the body enjoys the sentiency, that because the prana functions, that also is Atma. Pratisthita anne. Very interesting description. He is seated in the food. Anna means food. Pratisthita anne. He is seated in food. What do you mean anne? So Hrudayam Sannidhaya. He has placed himself in the heart. So food means the body, which is the modification of food. In the body there is heart, and this is where Atma shines, the conscious as I. Now this is being said in order to help us focus our attention in order to know the self. So tad vijnanena, in this manner, so the body is there, annam, in that there is Hridayam, heart, and that is where the self shines as I. And that's how you focus your attention from body to the heart and to what is revealing itself as I. Tad vijnanena. So, when by knowledge of this, here vijnanam, vishishtam jnanam. We all know Atma as I. So it's not that Atma is unknown to us. What is important also is Vishesha Jnanam, is that Atma is not only I, but it is non-dual. The self is consciousness that is non-dual. Self that is consciousness is boundless. So I am boundless, non-dual, one self that I am. So this is no way that we can ourselves arrive at. So says Bhas Shastra Acharya Upadesha Janitena Jnanena. This knowledge can only arise from the Upadesha of the Shastra and Acharya. Arise where? Jnanena Shamadava Dhyana Sarvatyaga Vairagya Udbhutena. When the mind, listener's mind enjoys Shama, the tranquility, Dhamma, total self-control, Vairagya, freedom from all attachments, meaning that for that person nothing is important at all. Sarvatyaga, one who has renounced everything, meaning that what is meant by renounced is that now you are free from all concern. As long as I possess something so long, always a concern of what's happening to me and where is it and in what situation it is, etc. Even our home also, we build the home, even though I travel abroad, and still sometimes I think, the monsoon is there, it is raining, and last year there was some leakage from the roof, and what's going to happen this year? Moment when you possess something, it is likely to occupy your mind, distract your mind. And the sarvatyagana, this one possesses nothing. Shama, Dhamma, Dhyana, Sarvatyaga, Jnana, Vairagya. So one, meaning free from all the possessions. One is Vairagya, means he has no attachment to anything. Enjoy the tranquility of mind. Dhamma, the control of the self. And that mind, when the Acharya gives the Upadesha, that you are the one who dwells in the heart here, and one who reveals itself as I, that is illuminator of the mind and all the thoughts, and it is a witness of all the thoughts. So when this Upadesha is given to us, then one can see Paripashyanti dhiraha, dhiraha, the wise people, vivekinaha, those who can separate the self from the non-self, paripashyanti, the wise people see the nature of the self. And what is the benefit of this knowledge? Suppose I know the self, I am consciousness, I am one, that's fine. So what is the reward? Says Ananda Rupam Amrutam Yad Vibhati. The self shines as Ananda Rupam. What is Ananda? Sarva, Anartha, Dukh, Ayasa, Prahem. That is devoid of all the pain, all the sorrow, all the exertion, where there is a total freedom from pain and exertion. Vibhati, that shines on its own. So the Ananda which is shining on its own is what this Viveki or the wise discriminating person sees as a result of the Upadesha of the teacher. Then we come to a very well-known mantra. न तत्र सूर्यो भाति न चंद्रतारकम् नेमा विद्युतो भान्ते कुतोऽयमग्निः तमेव भान्तम् अनुभाति सर्वं तस्य भासा सर्वमिदं विभाति. न तत्र, seventh case, tatra, tasmin, there the surya na bhati, there the sun does not shine. Where? Atma bhute brahmani. In the self which is Brahman, there the sun also does not shine. Sun is that which illumines everything. What is meant by it does not shine mean that even sun also does not illumine the Atma. Like the Bhagavad Gita also, na tad bhasayate surya na shashanko na pavaka. That is the anuvada of this mantra, that the sun does not shine, na chandra, the moon does not shine, tarakam, the stars do not shine, vidyutaha, the lightnings do not shine, kutoyam agnihi, where is this fire? So in the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there is a famous dialogue between sage Yajnavalkya and his disciple Janaka. At one point in time, King Janaka asks of sage Yajnavalkya, Kim Jyotirayam Purusha? Kim Jyotirayam Purusha, Yajnavalkya, what is it in light of which this person performs all his vyavahara? He sits at home, moves about, does his work, goes out, comes back. In light of which does this person perform all this vyavahara? Answer is very simple. Aditya Jyotiram Purushaha, hey Samrat, O King, it is Aditya, the sun, in light of which the person is at home, sits at home, performs functions at home, goes out, comes back. That's right. Then Janaka thinks further. But then, when the sun sets, then what is the light in which now this person performs all these functions? Then the light of moon, Samrat. Ivameva Yajnavalkya, that is right. In the light of moon, then at night, then the person, his house is illuminated by moon, he performs activities at home, goes out, performs his task, comes home. Evameva Yajnavalkya, you're right, Yajnavalkya, that's how it is. But now, when the moon also sets, Not only that, it is sun also sets and moon also. So sun may set and moon may shine. Moon may set and sun may shine. No, when sun sets and moon also sets, then in what light does this person perform all his vyavahara? In the light of fire. What is fire? The torch. So in those days, now we have this torch here, otherwise we have the torch, which was the light, fire. So in the light of fire, person performs all the vyavahara. At home, he goes out, finishes his task, comes home. Evameva yajnavalkya, that's right. But then sun also has set, moon also has set, and fire also has become quiet. Because some time will come when he will run out of fuel. So fire also gets extinguished. Then in what light? Now the total darkness. So now you can't even, so dark that you can't even see your hand. Becomes so dark. Then in what light does this person perform all his vyavahara? He is at home, does his task there, goes out, comes back. So what is the light? Now when is that situation? When sun also does not shine, moon also does not shine, the fire also is extinguished. Then he says, well, in the light of speech he does it. So even when you are, suppose you are walking through a forest, there's someone out there, Swamiji, this way. So that is when this word or the speech is what in fact guides me to perform my activities. I can go at home also. If light goes away all of a sudden, Swamiji, this is your glasses are here, this is here, that. So by speech I know what's there at home. I go out, and this is how the speech guides me. Then says, now the sun also has set, the moon also has set, the fire also is extinguished, the speech also is quiet. Then in what light does this person perform the vyavahara? So what is it describing? When does it happen? Sun is also not shining, moon also is not shining, fire also is not shining, even speech also is not shining. That is a state of dream. So we find that in dream also the person performs all the vyavahara as in the waking state. In dream also looks like there is light that illumines everything, in which light this person does what he normally does, similar to what he does in the waking state. So then Janaka asks of Yajnavalkya, when sun also is set, moon also is set, and fire also is extinguished, speech also is quiet, and that is a state of dream. Then, so in dream also, then person performs all the vyavahara at home, goes out. So what light? None of these lights is available there. Atrayam Purusha Swam Jyotir Bhavati. He says it is Atma Eva Jyotisha. It is the Jyotis or the light of the Atma that this person does all the activities. Meaning that in the dream, when the conventional luminaries have no entry, then also it is the light of the self, the consciousness that illumines the dream, and in dream, in absence of all the conventional luminaries, this person performs all his vyavahara. Na tatra suryo bhati, the sun does not shine, na chandra, nor the moon, tarakam, nor the stars, nima vidyatha, not the lightnings, kotoya magni. You know, this mantra is recited every evening by the priest while showing the light of camphor before the Lord. It says, na tatra suryo bhati, Lord, the sun cannot illumine you, the moon cannot illumine you, the light, fire cannot illumine you, even the lightnings cannot illumine you. Then where is the question of this fire of my, karpuram or, camphor? Tamaiva bhantam anubhati sarvam. In you shines In light of you, everything shines. Tamayo bhantam anubhadi sarvam. It is He, the Lord, that shines. In His light, everything shines. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. Bhasa is the third case of the word bhas, means tasya bhasa, by His light. All of this shines by His light, in His light. He shines and everything follows that. Follows, anubhati sarvam. In keeping with the shining of the Lord, that everything shines. Meaning that the sun does not shine in his own light. The moon does not shine in his own light. There's someone that illumines the sun, someone that illumines the moon, and lighting, and fire, and all luminaries that we know, there is someone that illumines them. Someone gives them the capacity to shine and illumine everything else. Now, this is something that we will never suspect. We take for granted that all these luminaries are self-effulgent and they illumine the world. Says, no, they also do not shine in their own light, meaning that they don't have the capacity to shine on their own. It is something that imparts them the capacity to shine. And so, anubhati, the example is that sometimes we get burned. Swamiji says, what happened? I got, Swamiji, while taking bath, I got burned by water, hot water. Ladies sometimes while cooking also, while frying, then oil flies back. Sometimes you touch, that hot frying pan. So, the tea burned me, the frying pan burnt me. Tea does not burn you. Frying pan does not burn you. What burns? It is the fire that burns. But we say that the frying pan burned me, this one burned me, I got, so this is all good, I am injured. Similarly, it is fire that, burns through all these different agencies. Similarly also, it is the self, the Lord, that shines through all of these luminaries. So this is the interpretation of Adidevika, meaning that the luminaries, the divine lights or divine luminaries, with reference to that, the same similar explanation can also be given at Adhyatmika, the individual level also, because there the sun and the moon and the fire. Sun, as you know, is the presiding deity of eyes. Moon is the presiding deity of mind. Fire is the presiding deity of speech. So thus, sun is the presiding deity of eyes, and that stands for all the organs of perception. Na tatra surya bhati, the sun does not shine there, meaning that the eyes do not illumine that, sun does not illumine that, eyes do not illumine that, meaning that all sense organs cannot illumine that. That is not the object of illumination by sense organs, which cannot be objectified by sense organs. Na chandratarakam, not moon. Moon is the presiding deity of mind. Well, the self cannot be objectified by the mind, as we said earlier. So, with yad vacha anabhidam yena vak abhyudyate tadeva brahmatvam viddhi. Kenopanishad says, yad vacha anabhidam, that which cannot be expressed by the speech, that because which the speech expresses. Yan manasana manute, that which cannot be thought of by the mind, yen ahur manomatam, that by which the mind thinks. That which cannot be thought of by the mind, but that because of which the mind thinks. And it goes on like that, with reference to organs of action, organs of perception, with the mind, meaning all the means of knowledge that we have, they do not illumine. Tadeva brahmatam nedam yadi upasate, whatever can be indicated idam as this, as object of knowledge, understand that that is not Brahman. What is it that cannot be objectified? that cannot be seen by the eyes, that cannot be uttered by the speech, that cannot be visualized by the mind. That which illumines the mind, which illumines the speech, that illumines the eyes, tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam, all organs of perception shine in which light? So Kenopanishad is Shrotrasya Shrotram. In Kenopanishad, the aspirant comes to the teacher and says, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha. Oh Venerable Sir, what is it because of which the mind performs its functions? Kena prana, what is it because of which this prana also, the vital air also performs function, goes up and down? What is it because of which they speak the words through speech, etc. So what makes the eyes and ears also perform their functions? That's a very interesting question for somebody who asks. Every Upanishad, many Upanishads begin with questions like that, and Keno Upanishad begins with this kind of question. So this person must have given a lot of thought. What is it because of which the mind performs the functions? Nobody would think. We think that mind performs functions on its own. The eyes see on their own, and the speech speaks on its own. Says, no, I know that the mind also is insentient. I know the organs of perception also are insentient. Organs of action also are insentient because they are product of 5 elements. The elements are insentient, therefore the products of them are also insentient. So this person must have really thought, Keneshitam patati preshitam manaha, what is it because of which the mind performs the function of thinking? What is it because of which the eyes see, the ears hear, the speech talks, etc. And the answer is an interesting answer. Says, Shrotrasya Shrotram Manaso Manaha. It is the ear of the ear, the mind of the mind, the prana of the prana, the eyes of the eye. So you wonder, is there an eye behind the eye, an ear behind this ear, a mind behind this mind? So what does a teacher mean? The student also is confused, and so the teacher further clarifies. Na tatra chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, na manaha. O my dear disciple, na tatra chakshur gacchati. There the eyes have no reach. Na vag gacchati. The speech also has no scope there. Na manaha. The mind also cannot reach there. Meaning that it cannot be objectified by the eyes or organs of perception, cannot be expressed by the speech, cannot be thought of by the mind. So it's very frustrating because the student is searching, but you tell me, so what? What is it? All the time the teacher says, in the language, he doesn't describe it directly. The student wants to know, what is it now? What is the nature of Atma? What is it because of it the mind functions? He says it is the mind of the mind. What is because of the eye? Which eye see? Is eye of the eye. So the student gets frustrated, but then tell me, what is it? Na tatta chakshur gacchati, na vag gacchati, na manaha, na vidmaha, na vijanimaha. So I don't know how else to tell you. Tell me something. I don't know how else to tell you. Yatha, what is na vidmaha? Yatha anushishyat. In what other way can we communicate to you? We don't know. But something. So then the teacher obliged him by giving a formula. Anyadev tad viditat atho aviditat adhi anyadev tad viditat. Hey, it is different from vidita, different from known, and also different from unknown. Go and think. So, not much different from what he said earlier, Different from known, other than unknown. But anyway, so ultimately the Shishya goes into, and comes back to the teacher. Says, "Sir, now I have known." The teacher says, "Oh, you know it very well?" "Yes. If you think you know very well, then you don't know." Idimanyase suvedeti dahramivapi nunam vettattvam brahmano. Oh, if you think that you know Brahman very well, then you know little of Brahman. And therefore go and think. So, again he is sent back to think further. So, mimamsa mevate, you must do the mimamsa, you must do the vichara. But it's not like, thank you, sir, I mean, I leave you, I don't bother. After all, I seem that you're not capable of telling me. I don't think that you can impart knowledge to me. But those shishyas were very, that's called not only obedience, but it's called also Shraddha. That no, he has Shraddha in the words of the teacher and the capability of the teacher also. So he follows the ajna of the teacher and goes and comes back to the teacher. Earlier teacher said, Yadi manyase suvedeti, if you think you know very well, then you know a little bit only. Mimam samevate, you must think further. Naham manye suvedeti. Now the student comes back. Naham manye suvedeti. I do not say that I know it very well. Means you do not know. No na Veda. I don't say that I don't know. Veda cha, know it also. He replies in the same way, meaning that the way the teacher taught him, he doesn't repeat those words, but he repeats the word, he describes the word understanding. That, yes, sir, I have understood exactly, known exactly what you say. Naham manye suvedeti. I do not say that I know very well. That means you do not know, no na Veda. I don't say I don't know. Veda cha, I know also. And then he declares, whoever among us also knows this way, he alone knows. So I don't say that I know, nor do I say I don't know. When he says, I don't say I know, meaning that I do not know Atma as a part or as a flower, as an object. And I say, I don't say that I don't know. I know because Atma is self-effulgent. It's my own self, self-effulgent. And therefore, I know it not as an object, as the very subject, as my own self, as a self-effulgent consciousness. This is tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa saramidam vibhati. That shines and everything shines in the light of itself. So this is how, in this kind of a language, sometimes the Upadesha is given to the disciples. The question was, does he shine? Yes, he shines. He shines and shines variously because everything shines because of it. You cannot see the light of the consciousness, but the fact that everything shines, sun and moon, illumines, is because of the consciousness. Meaning that now you should withdraw your attention from those illumined objects and focus attention on that which illumines, which is your own self. So this is where the one section becomes complete, and we'll continue our discussion tomorrow. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari